Hi, welcome to the 2-credit practicum, ESLG 486. So my assumption is, if you're watching this, that you are signed up for the 2-credit practicum, which means you've either taken a 1-credit practicum elsewhere or you've taken it at EW already. So you did ESLG 486 one time before. So I'm crafting a separate message for you in 2 credits because you're in a different place than those who are just beginning in the 1 credit or those who are at the very end in the 3 credits. So the first thing I want to say is you're on your way. Good for you. You are engaged in this process of developing, and that is a beautiful thing, and it's the mainstay of teaching. It's mostly what we do. It's kind of the invisible life of teachers, but it is what we do, and it's what keeps our practice alive, I think. So the first thing I want to say is you probably did this last quarter, but I just want to make sure that you do this if you didn't this quarter, is to make sure that this practicum is at the top of your priorities. This looks like a class, but it's not. This is a first step, the practicum in general, a first step into professional life. And so if you're tempted to sleep in a little and go late to your practicum, or you're tempted to skip your practicum and study for a test, don't do it. Keep your obligations to your practicum at the top of your list. Of course, everybody gets the flu every once in a while. The inevitable does happen at times. And then what you would need to do is to do your best to reach the teacher before he or she begins their class, because they probably will be counting on you being there and have their lesson plan built around that. So one thing you need to do, especially in the 2 credit, is to think about your collaborating teacher, that person that you're working with, whether it's at a school or a program. They are your potential resource. You're going to spend a minimum of 20 hours with them this quarter, and they're going to get to know you. And here's what you want. You want them to be someone in the back of your mind that you can put down as a reference. Someone who has seen you interact with students, someone who has seen you be on time, be responsible, be professional, and someone who, hopefully, they've gotten to see teach a little bit. Which brings me to the next thing I want to say, which is with the 2 credit practicum, spending 20 hours in a classroom, it is very likely that you will be asked at some point to lead the class, to introduce a new topic. And you need to say yes. It's 2 credits. It's time for you to take that risk. And one thing to keep in mind, I've said this before, but one thing to keep in mind is if an experienced teacher looks at you and says, I'd like you to introduce this topic tomorrow, or would you like to introduce this topic tomorrow? By them asking you, that means in their opinion, you can do it. And if they think you can do it, you can do it. So say yes, work hard at it, feel free to enlist me to help you get ready for it, even to practice it. I'll be glad to be your test audience, but say yes to any opportunity that you get to try your hand at leading an activity, introducing a topic, designing a worksheet. Try it out. Another thing that I want to say is that we are all ultimately, as teachers, responsible for our own development. Once you're out teaching, you might be lucky enough, like I am, that there's actually a fund put aside for me for my own professional development. But I need to drive that. Even though others are willing to provide funds to resource that, and I've got opportunities, if I don't show up with all of me, and if I don't plan well, I really won't take advantage of that. So I just want you to know, you are writing your own story here. I have made some guesses in the 2 credit practicum about the kinds of topics that you're ready to really consider. Thinking about methods, noticing strategies that are used, noticing tools that are used by the teacher. So I've made some guesses about what you're ready for in your development, but only you really know what you're ready for. And so you need to be paying attention to those. It will probably be showing up in your log, for example, things that you're noting about yourself. But really, I need you to be moving forward with whatever you notice. All of us come to teaching with our own resources, our own challenges. And so be noticing what those challenges are and be moving forward on those. And finally, for placement. So many of you have approached me. You don't want to be placed in ELI or AUAP this quarter. You want to be placed elsewhere. And I've already got many of you placed because of your request, for example, at the Monroe Center, the Adult Education Center, or with an after-school ELD program at Roosevelt Elementary. If this describes you, if you don't wish to be placed with AUAP especially, reach out to me this week and I will make sure that we get you connected with the program that works for you. So again, if you were with AUAP last quarter for 1 credit and you wish to continue that, then all you need to do is to follow the announcement that I sent out in which I tell you how to connect with Christina Guilfoyle this quarter. And one thing to note is that you are actually required to turn in your schedule to me, who your cooperating teacher is, what building, what room, and what days and what times you will be there. This will help me start to plan ahead and to make sure that everyone's got a placement that's going to add up to their minimum hours, which for you is 20 hours. 20 hours is a lot. As I mentioned, you'll really get to know the teacher well. Also, I would, just like I did with the 1 credit practicum, I highly suggest that you over-plan, that you plan that you can get 24 hours in, for example, this quarter, because something will come up. If not with you, then maybe with the AUAP program or with whatever program you're with. For example, if you are placed at an elementary school in Central Valley, there may be testing 1 week, ELD testing, in which case you're asked not to come. And so you might lose an entire week, at least 2 hours that week. So plan for more than 20 hours just to make sure that you get that minimum in. Okay, I look forward to supporting you as you write your own story in your own story of development.